So welcome everyone to another session of our Town Hall series for the month of October. We have co-founder Edward to share the updates of everything that went down in the month of October with the Neptune Mutual protocol. Hi Edward, how are you today?
Yeah, good, thank you. All good.
That's good to hear. So you want to jump in and tell me what's the first thing on the agenda today?
Sure, so I'll just scroll through the slides. So monthly updates, the first thing is the liquidity gauge, and the progress on that is, the update is that we have now completed the process of the audit that we have had done by Hacken, the well-known security audit firm.
That's amazing. Can you share a little bit more details? What was the score? What did it turn out to be?
Sure. So, we're going to be publishing the report very shortly, actually, with the score and comments, and that will probably be published, I think, at Friday. Certainly, we're looking to get that published this week, both on our own website, obviously, in the security section. Hacken will be publishing it as well, and there'll be tweets and so on, social media updates coming out at the end of the week. So we're very happy with the work that they've done. The tech team have been working with them and closing out the comments in relation to the points that they found. So yeah, there's a great job by both them and our own tech team in getting this gauge feature ready and up to speed in terms of security.
Okay, that's amazing. So stay tuned to our socials, like everything will be posted there, and you can learn more about the security audit that was completed on the liquidity gauge feature. So speaking of social media posts and everything, you were participating in quite a few X Spaces this month.
Sure, yes. So let me move on to the next slide. So we did have a number of invites to join different spaces. So one with DuckDAO, one with fellow DeFi insurance protocol Insurace, who invited us on to chat about what we do in the DeFi insurance space. And so it's really important for us to get the sort of message out around cover protection. And so to do that, I will share what I shared in those spaces, really, which is, let me just switch off for the camera and the YouTube video of the recording so that you can see what I'm doing, which is the message around what I would say, let's say, yesterday's narrative. And we all know that auditing is important, and it's one of many, many steps to help reduce the risk of hacks and exploits. And so the narrative, trust us, we've been audited, isn't, in my view, sufficient. That's why I've marked it out here in the slides as yesterday's narrative. Everyone has to be audited as a precondition, really, of doing business in the blockchain space because of the very substantial risks. But it's not true to say that just because you've been audited, you can really reliably say that you can be trusted. And if I then come on to what's happened this month and the review of the different exploits that have happened over the course of the month, if you go to our blog, you'll see that there's no less than 9 different projects that have suffered some form of attack. Now, as I said, audits are great, particularly for smart contract vetting and improvement to reduce security. But hacks can happen in a whole variety of different ways. At front end, there can be social engineering attacks. There can be private key security that needs, obviously, careful attention. And there's a whole variety of ways that projects can be hacked. And as we can see over the month of October, in the blog, 9 different projects have been hacked over the course of October. So I was trying to think of a different way of saying this, an analogy of some sort, and I got here a quote from Mike Tyson. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. And the point here is that, you can, plan as much as you like. So this is Evander Holyfield and their rather well-known bout that they had. And so for me, auditing is like getting prepared. It's going to the gym, it's getting good nutrition, it's understanding your adversary, what kind of strategy that might have in place. You do everything you possibly can to reduce the risks. But at the end of the day, if you're going to be in this sort of game, like the blockchain game, you have to accept that at some point you might take a hit. And so our project, and indeed all DeFi insurance projects, which is what I was explaining on the insurance space, have an answer to, well, what happens if your digital assets take a hit? And that's the question I think everyone needs to ask themselves. What is protecting my digital assets if all the good preparations to reduce risk, they don't prevent a hack and digital assets are lost? What happens then? And so today's narrative in the DeFi insurance space is DeFi insurance has you covered. And in particular, Neptune Mutual has you covered in a way that pays out quickly. It gets you the money fast when you need it. And as we know, sentiment moves quickly, liquidity moves quickly, and this is why the projects that we're speaking to are excited about parametric cover, because it can resolve this problem fast. And so I'm not going to rehearse many of the points that differentiate parametric and discretionary insurance, because probably most of the community here and the listeners know what those differences are. But certainly paying out quickly in the event of a digital asset hack is important. And so those were the messages, some of the messages that I was trying to get across in the spaces. And of course, so understanding those messages is the first thing, but then taking action is clearly what's needed. And at the moment, timing is great for users to take action and take out cover policies, because the context of the market at the moment, which is a challenging market for everyone, is one in which cover policy fees are low, in some cases as low as 1% per annum. So I would definitely encourage users to come and have a look at the marketplace, see the cover products that we've got there, and see just how low the policy fees are to protect your digital assets. It's really a great time at the moment to purchase cover because, as I said, the fees are remarkably low at the moment.
Absolutely. I would even add that it's not only today's narrative, it's tomorrow's as well, since it is the future DeFi insurance.
Agreed. Yeah, and for a whole excuse me, and for a whole variety of reasons, I suspect, I believe that projects will adopt cover much more universally, because I think communities will demand it in the same way as individuals require and demand the value of their real-world assets to be insured. I think that in the risky world of blockchain, users will progressively demand more and more that projects put in place some kind of cover policies to protect their digital assets. And the other reason, of course, is because I think in 2024, we're likely to see many more institutional players move into the space. Everyone's familiar with BlackRock and their ETF application, which is driving a lot of speculation around market pricing and sentiment at the moment. But what is clear and what we can take from that is that if by far the biggest asset manager in the world is getting into the blockchain space, it's pretty likely that other institutions will want to play a part in the blockchain space. And where you have institutions involved, for sure, absolutely for sure, cover protection and DeFi insurance will have a huge role to play, and the growth prospects, in my view, enormous. So lots to look forward to, I think, next year.
Absolutely. I'm excited about next year and everything that Neptune Mutual is going to do. A lot of announcements, right, that are happening in the back that will be more visible next year.
Yep. Yeah. The team is very busy on a whole number of different fronts at the moment.
Amazing. So for the next topic, can you give me a little bit of, and everyone that signed on, a little bit of update about what's happening with Neptune Mutual and NPM?
Yes, so again, quite a lot of work going on in the background in relation to NPM. As those who follow us closely will know, the liquidity has grown very substantially over the last few weeks. We're not far off $1 million in terms of the liquidity of NPM. And there's now NPM tokens available natively on the Binance Smart Chain, so they don't have to be bridged anymore. There's a SushiSwap version 2 pool available for Binance Smart Chain users to use, with over $400,000 worth of liquidity. And in fact, I think I'm right in saying that it is, by quite some margin, the largest pool in its category of farming in the Binance Smart Chain on SushiSwap.
It is.
So we're making progress there. Yep.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So that's great, and we are working as the monthly update item number 3 here says on updating data aggregator sites. So what I mean by that are sites like CoinMarketCap, for example, where users can now see the circulating supply and total supply information now feeding through correctly, and there are a whole lot of sites that reference NPM in one way or another. So this is just one example, dextools.io. If you look at the SushiSwap V2 pool on Arbitrum, as you can see here in the slides, there is information flowing through now into the Dex tools. We have a Dext score, which evaluates the token across a whole variety of different categories, is up to 96 over 99, so a huge improvement from just a few weeks ago. So that's pretty exciting. Excuse me. And I couldn't fit it on the screen, so I just parked it here on the left of the screen. If you scroll down in dextools.io on the SushiSwap V2 Arbitrum pool, you can click on the community trust if you've signed in with your wallet, and give us a thumbs up if you trust Neptune Mutual, which hopefully you do if you're listening in on our Discord, and that will help just provide again some more positive sentiment to the Dex score and those who use that tool. But that's just one of around 20 different data aggregators that we are continuing to work with to improve the visibility and improve the profile of Neptune Mutual, Neptune Mutual's NPM token.
All right, understood. So speaking of the NPM tokens, we had a question today on our Discord chat, our general chat. Some users were asking about the NPM distribution for testnet winners. Is there an update on that?
Yes, so I can confirm that the NPM token rewards will be distributed this month to testnet winners. So we are working on that, and thank you, testnet winners, for your patience. So I know you're excited and pleased to get the NFT rewards that you were owed, that you've now received, and it's time now that you receive the NPM tokens. So again, thank you for your patience, and those will be emitted to you before the end of this month. One detail, which is that in the competition terms and conditions, we did specify that we may request a full KYC prior to emitting NPM tokens for various reasons. But given the relatively small amount of tokens per user, we've been advised that we do not need to do the KYC. So yeah, that's a little bit of information for winners who will be receiving their NPM rewards very soon. We will, of course, keep you posted in social media about exactly the date when that happens. So keep following, and NPM tokens are on their way to you sometime this month.
That's amazing news for the testnet winners. Your NPM tokens will be distributed this month. So it will all be posted on socials, and we will keep the community updated on that. So I guess it's time to see and if anyone in the chat has any questions for you this month. So let's see, everyone type your questions in the chat and I will read them out loud for co-founder Edward to answer. Let's see, we have some people typing. Let's give it a minute. So we have a question from Gary. There is no volume, no token holders of NPM, even though Bitcoin is up. So what's the plan for the NPM?
Can you just repeat the first part of the question?
Yes. There is no volume, no token holders of NPM. Even though Bitcoin is up, what's the plan for the NPM?
So, firstly, there are NPM token holders, and progressively, as the investor vesting schedule progresses, there are more and more NPM token holders. So, firstly, there are token holders, but it's true to say that many of our investors are committed and long-term holders of NPM as they believe in the future growth prospects. So firstly, there are token holders. You can also purchase NPM tokens, as we've already mentioned, in Sushi and on Uniswap v2, so across Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, and Arbitrum. And now that there is very much significantly more liquidity, we might expect NPM trading to grow, for the simple reason that because of the nature and the mechanism of pools, which I don't need to remind everyone, is that the larger the pool, the less sensitive the token price is to trades, for obvious reasons. So just the mere fact that there is so much more liquidity now than there was just a few weeks ago, it means that there is less price sensitivity, and then therefore one might imagine that there is a greater potential for trading volumes to increase. But we shall see. I'm pretty confident that trading volumes will increase. We certainly have quite a number of marketing initiatives upcoming that we hope may impact NPM. So one of those relates to cover policy purchases, where we'll be running promotions. And as you all know, in order to purchase cover, you actually need to be an NPM token holder. So that may drive demand. And there are a number of other initiatives that we've got underway. So yeah, obviously it's in the project's interest to see trading volumes grow. And there are lots of factors that feed into trading volumes. Things like, for example, the visibility and the profile of Neptune Mutual in different data aggregators, which is why I personally have spent so much time updating and speaking to projects like CoinMarketCap and others in order to improve the visibility and profile, improve our scores, improve the data feeds. And again, that's one of a number of factors that hopefully will encourage the trading of NPM tokens. So it all builds together, but these different elements, and we shall see between now and Christmas exactly how the trading volume grows. But I'm personally quite confident that it will.
All right, thanks for answering, and I hope that answers your question, Gary. So let's see, next question before we end the session. Let's give it a minute, see if anyone types a question. So no more questions from the audience. So I think that's it for today, Edward. Thank you so much for sharing the updates and everything that went down in the month of October. And I'm looking forward to us speaking in another month.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for joining, everyone. Follow us in our socials, as there's quite a lot of announcements upcoming over the next couple of weeks. So again, thanks for joining, and speak to you next month. Bye for now.